Welcome back, deep divers. Today we're diving into something, well, I think you're going to love it. It's all about Ikigai.
Oh, Ikigai, yeah.
You've probably heard of it, right? Finding your purpose, that sweet spot where passion meets what you're good at.
Right.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly is Ikigai?
Well, Ikigai, it's Japanese, and it basically means reason for being.
Okay.
And the idea is that everyone has an Ikigai, something that makes them want to jump out of bed in the morning, something that gives their life meaning.
You know, I think a lot of people struggle with that, especially if they feel stuck in a job they don't love.
Absolutely. It's like you're just counting down the minutes until the weekend.
Ugh, tell me about it. And the video really highlights how damaging that can be, right?
Totally. It can lead to burnout, even health problems. It's not just about feeling blah. It can really impact your well-being.
Yeah, it's like your whole system is out of whack.
Yeah.
But the good news is that we can change that, right?
Exactly. We're not powerless. The video emphasizes that we have more control over our lives than we often think.
So how do we start taking back that control?
That's where the 4 dimensions of Ikigai come in.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Think of them as like a compass, a guide to finding your own Ikigai. And the first one is, what are you good at?
So like skills and talents.
Yeah, but it goes deeper than that. It's about recognizing your natural abilities, the things that come easily to you.
It's like figuring out your own superpowers.
Exactly. It's about identifying what you excel at, even if you haven't had formal training in it.
I like that. I like that a lot. So that's the first dimension, what we're good at. What's the second?
The second is all about what you love to do.
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Passion projects and all that.
Right. But even within things we love, there might be parts we dislike.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I love podcasting, but the editing part can be a drag sometimes.
Exactly. The video gives this great example of a YouTuber who hates filming but loves the creative process.
That makes sense. So it's about finding ways to minimize those less enjoyable parts or maybe delegate them if possible.
Absolutely. Or even reframing your mindset around them, focusing on why you're doing it in the first place.
Love it. So we've got what we're good at, what we love. What's the third dimension of Ikigai?
This one might be a bit more challenging. It's about what the world needs.
Whoa, okay, now we're getting philosophical.
Right. But the video makes it really relatable. It's not about single-handedly solving world hunger or anything. It's about recognizing that every contribution has value.
So even small actions can make a difference.
Absolutely. Like imagine a teacher who inspires their students or even someone who diligently keeps their neighborhood clean. Those things matter.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's about shifting the perspective from just personal fulfillment to contributing to something bigger than ourselves.
Right.
Okay, I'm ready for the fourth dimension now.
This one's all about what you can get paid for.
Ah, yes, the practical side of things.
Right. And it's often misunderstood. It's not about chasing wealth, but ensuring sustainability.
So, like, if your Ikigai doesn't generate income, it's more of a hobby.
Yeah, and that can be problematic because then you might have to spend most of your time doing something you don't love just to pay the bills.
Which can lead right back to that feeling of being stuck.
Exactly. So finding your Ikigai is about finding that sweet spot where all 4 of these dimensions intersect.
Okay, so how do we actually find that sweet spot?
Well, the video uses this cool Venn diagram analogy, and it really helps visualize how everything comes together. It also shows how Ikigai relates to other concepts like passion, mission, vocation, and profession. It's really cool how they use that Venn diagram in the video, to show how Ikigai is kind of different from passion, mission, all those things, but they all connect in a way.
Right. Because it's easy to think, oh, I'm passionate about this, so this must be my Ikigai. But like you were saying, it's more nuanced than that, right?
Yeah, passion's just one piece of the puzzle, I've got friends who are always like, find your passion and you'll never work a day in your life.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that one too.
But it's not always that simple.
No, not always. So what about mission? How does that fit into Ikigai? Because the video talks about that too, right? Like having a sense of purpose that goes beyond just, enjoying what you do.
Yeah, mission is more about contributing to something bigger than yourself, It's like those people who are super dedicated to a cause, like fighting for social justice or the environment. Their drive comes from this, deep sense of purpose.
Okay, so they might not necessarily love every aspect of the work, but they're fueled by that sense of mission.
Exactly. But even then, it's not automatically Ikigai. You still need to consider those other dimensions like skills and sustainability. The video uses this term, vocation, to describe that overlap between what the world needs and what you can get paid for.
Oh, okay. So like essential workers, right?
Mhm.
Nurses, teachers, people we rely on every day. Their work is obviously super important and they get paid for it, but it might not always align perfectly with their passions or talents.
Yeah, that's a good example. And then you have profession, which is where a lot of people end up. You're good at your job, it pays the bills, but maybe it's missing that spark, that connection to a deeper purpose.
Right. You're going through the motions, but not really feeling fulfilled. So it sounds like all these things, passion, mission, vocation, profession, they're all important, but it's only when they all come together, like in that Venn diagram, that we actually hit that Ikigai sweet spot.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting because the video connects this to the concept of flow.
Flow. Oh, I love that idea. Like when you're so absorbed in something that time just disappears.
Yeah, exactly. And Ikigai can help you experience that more consistently, which I think is amazing. But here's the thing. It seems counterintuitive, right? Like you'd think finding your purpose would require more effort, not less.
Right. It's like, how does that work?
Well, when you're doing work that aligns with your skills, your passions, your values, and it allows you to make a living, it creates this sense of harmony. It's like you're not fighting against the current, you're flowing with it. The video even brings up this Taoist concept of wu wei, which basically means effortless action.
Ooh, woo way. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Wu wei is all about aligning yourself with the natural order of things, finding that sweet spot where effortlessness and effectiveness come together. And Ikigai, by helping you figure out your unique place in the world, can lead you to that wu wei state.
Hmm. Makes me think of those athletes who make their sport look so easy, like they're just gliding through it. They've obviously put in the work and honed their skills, but now it just flows so effortlessly.
Yeah, I get that. And that's the beauty of Ikigai. It's not about trying to fit yourself into some predetermined mold. It's about discovering who you truly are and aligning your actions with that. But here's the thing, and this is really important. Ikigai isn't static. The video makes that point really clear.
Wait, so it's not like we find our one true calling
Mhm.
and that's it. So are you saying it's more of a journey than a destination?
Exactly. It's constantly evolving because we're always changing, our interests, our skills, the world around us. Everything's in flux. So your Ikigai is going to evolve along with it.
That actually takes a lot of pressure off. It's like, it's okay if we don't have it all figured out right now. We just have to be open to new possibilities as we go.
Exactly. And the video encourages us to see that not as something scary, but as an opportunity to stay curious and keep exploring. What do you think about that? I mean, this whole idea of Ikigai constantly evolving.
Yeah, I think it's exciting. It's like this journey of self-discovery, and it never really ends.
Right. And it takes the pressure off. Like you don't have to have it all figured out right this second.
So for our listener, someone who's maybe feeling a bit lost, doesn't really know their Ikigai yet, where would you say they should start?
Well, I tell them to think about those 4 dimensions again.
Mhm.
What you're good at, what you love, all that. Start paying attention to those things in their own life.
So kind of take an inventory of their strengths and passions and see what comes up.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be afraid to think outside the box a little. Your Ikigai doesn't have to be a traditional job or anything. It could be something totally unique to you.
I love that. It's about embracing who you are and letting that guide you. But, okay, let's say our listener is on board with all of this, but they're like, okay, how do I actually do this? What are some practical steps they can take?
Start small. Try a new hobby maybe, or volunteer for something you care about. Talk to someone who's doing work that you admire. Even little things like that can spark ideas.
Right. You don't have to make any drastic changes overnight. Just take it one step at a time.
Exactly. And as you're experimenting, notice what brings you joy, what makes you feel energized. Those are often clues pointing you towards your Ikigai.
Just like a treasure hunt, kind of.
Yeah. And remember, it's not a solo mission. Talk to people, share your ideas, get support from those who get it.
Surround yourself with good people. All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Ikigai, any final thoughts for our listener? What's one thing they can do today to, connect with their purpose?
Just remember that your Ikigai is out there. Be patient, trust the process, and see where it leads you.
I love that. And to our listener, we'd love to hear about your journey, share your thoughts, connect with us on social media, all that good stuff. Until next time, happy diving.